Hey everybody, in this video I'm just kind of going to have a little bit of a chill game as Argentina, and our main goal is going to be kind of making a Greater Argentina with some kind of just borders that I made up on the spot. But with this creation of Greater Argentina, we will actually get 2 achievements. We'll get Islas Malvinas and Cisplatine War 2 Electric Boogaloo. And so those achievements will be gotten in this video. But first we're going to do Roberto Maria Ortiz, and then we're going to focus our research on just industry, and for actual construction we're just going to build up infrastructure and build up civilian factories in the states that we build up infrastructure in. And I'm specifically picking states that have a lot of resources because you actually have quite a lot of resources in Argentina, and that can help with, countries giving you civilian factories for those resources. And we took away that military factory that was making planes and just put everything on guns. And with our army, we're going to set it up on the border with Uruguay. And after getting our trade situation up, fixed, we start building some subs, and it's time to start the game. So after our first focus, I decided to hire the Argentina fascist, and we immediately do work with the nationalists as our next focus. Then crack down on corruption just to get rid of some of those debuffs, and then I'm going to switch over to free trade to take full advantage of the resources we do have, at least civilian factories wise. And then we're going to cut ties with Britain, and then, well, there's a couple things we can do actually. However, for me, I'm going to support radical nationalism and just kind of get it set up to where whenever we get the support we need, we can switch over to fascism as soon as possible. Or encourage the German investments because I want to keep the Union Nacional Fascista for another time. And then we're going to do corporatism, and I'm going to do raids on the Democrats and the communists. And then we're going to keep going down that part of the focus tree to get an extra research slot, move up our conscription, get an army offense expert, and now going to do fascist researchers and get an extra research slot. And now I'm going to train up 11 infantry divisions for our army, and I was going to start training up some more divisions for the next army of 24 divisions, but we just don't have the manpower deployed yet for that to really be meaningful. But now we're going to do the focus that allows us to get a war goal on Uruguay, mainly just so we can puppet them. And the reason I'm puppeting them and not just annexing them is because to get the achievement, the Cisplatine War 2 Electric Boogaloo, you have to have Uruguay as part of your faction. Whenever they're a puppet, they'll be a part of our faction whenever we make a faction. And this war will be pretty quick because we just outmatch them. So Uruguay falls, and it's just a little casualty check. 20,000 losses for Uruguay and only 1,000 for us. A pretty big difference there. And now we're just going to, take their navy and puppet them. Taking their navy just so we have a navy to naval invade the Falkland Islands in South Georgia, hopefully so that, if the British Navy is in the area whenever we eventually try to take the Falklands, we'll have a strong enough navy to get supremacy regardless. And now done Guardia Nacional, means we switch over to fascism, switch over to war economy, and now we're going to do rapid militarization. Now with rapid militarization, we're going to go to war division, and I'm also going to start making trucks because we're going to have a few more, I think 5 more motorized divisions, and we're going to do Argentina first to create our own faction because I don't want to get involved in World War II. And now we're going to do Dominate the South, and this will begin new wave of conquests for us. I'm also going to hire the Prince of Terror because it helps just a little bit with garrisons. And we're just going to conquer Paraguay with this focus. And then we're going to do Chilean ultimatum to hopefully get a war goal on them. But a war on Paraguay, and Paraguay will fall pretty quickly because, just like Uruguay, we're just a lot more powerful than they are. And with the fall of Paraguay, unlike Uruguay, I'm actually just going to fully annex them and just move on with it. And we're going to set our army to border on the border with Chile. And now it's time to train some more divisions because we're going to be preparing for the invasion of Brazil after dealing with Chile. And actually, with Chile, well, first we're going to start with the focuses that allow us to white peace Britain whenever we eventually declare war for the Falklands. But as you saw, Chile actually accept the ultimatum, so we don't have to go to war with them. But it does mean I have to annex them with the whole puppet mechanic, so that will take quite a while. But I'm going to move my army over to the border with Brazil, and we're going to also be, training up some divisions to get to like 48 divisions. And after that first focus down the route to get the Falkland Islands, we're going to do some focuses just to get a bunch of military factories. And I'm going to train up 5 more motorized divisions to kind of just have divisions that I can move around quickly across Brazil to capitulate them as soon as possible. And we're going to do our last focus for extra military factories, which will be the first Air Force focus. And now we're going to secure the borders, then do Argentine island sovereignty, and we've finished up training our divisions, so I'm going to shift-click exercise on them to get them up to I believe it's rank 3, so that they have a little bit of a boost to their attack and everything. And then we're going to do the focus the old enemy. And after doing the focus the old enemy, focuses aren't necessarily super important at this point. So I'm just going to do suppress subjects since we're going to need to annex them for these sort of Greater Argentina borders that I want. Then I'm going to declare war on Brazil, call in my allies, which are just my puppets, and it's also got us the Cisplatine War 2 Electric Boogaloo, because we don't actually have to defeat Brazil to get that achievement, but, I'm going to do it anyways because I want nice sport. And we're just going to absolutely destroy Brazil because we outnumber them, and our army is much better quality. This campaign wasn't really hard, sadly. It was pretty easy, but after the last campaign, and also, Chile, for some reason, was able to do a naval invasion, which I thought was funny, because I did not help them with that. But, our last campaign was Chile taking over, like, the entirety of the Americas and Britain. So this is a nice refresher just to be able to do this really easy one. And as you see, we just run through most of Brazil's victory points pretty early on in the war, but we will have to get pretty far north regardless. And Rio de Janeiro falls, which means we have, like, I think over half of Brazil's victory points just in the south, because obviously most of Brazil's population lives down there, and so it's just a matter of time before they capitulate, as most of their land will be undefended, as they barely have any manpower and AI doesn't really prepare very well, at least whenever it comes to minor nations like Brazil. But we finally get Brazil to capitulate, and mainly what I'm going to do in this peace deal is take some provinces in the south to make borders that I think look kind of nice. Obviously, they don't look nice right now because we haven't annexed our puppets, but once we annex our puppets, they'll look nice. But we're going to set 5 divisions to prepare for the naval invasion of the Falklands, and then another 5 divisions to prepare for the naval invasion of South Georgia. And this is pretty straightforward. We're just gonna set up the naval invasion, wait for naval invasion to actually be ready to launch, unite our navy, of course, get them to naval invasion support in the seas that we need, and then we can use our war goal that we actually got from the Argentina Islands sovereignty focus to declare war on the UK, launch our naval invasions, and take those islands so that we can get the achievement Islas Malvinas. And it was pretty easy. The Falklands were undefended, and I just did a little bit of a trick you can do where you can split off the divisions that aren't in operation to lower the cost of forced attack and stuff like that, so that I could just spam it until we eventually take South Georgia. And once I took South Georgia, I got the achievement Islas Malvinas, which I think was a little bit of a bug, but we were going to hold it for 73 days consecutively anyways, because as you're going to see soon, and there's the achievement, of course, we're just going to do a decision that allows us to negotiate with the UK and core both of those islands, meaning that we basically keep them permanently. And so now, all that is left to do is to get our perfect borders by just annexing our puppets, which we do by just sending them a bunch of convoys, building buildings in their territory, and just sending them a bunch of military equipment in general. And not going to bore you with, that long process, just showing that I did annex them. And so, there are borders. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Any of those 3 really helps the channel and the video, and I'll see you later. Probably seeing you later with the new DLC. Bye-bye.